Okay guys, so welcome to the market structure. I'm introducing one of the best indicators that you're going to need. If you're a newbie or you're an expert, it does not matter. Also guys, I know this video is kind of long, maybe 27, 28 minutes. So what I did was I left timestamps below. So depending on what you're looking for, you can just go skip to the timestamp that fits what you need. But if you're brand new, you've never even seen this indicator, you need to know everything about it, just watch the entire video, take notes, and become great at trading. What I like about this indicator, guys, is that it offers a lot of different things like session highs and session lows, breaker structure, fair value gap, support and resistance, structure, helps you trend, bias, high time frame analysis, and strategies. So right now, I'm just going to kind of show you how dope one of these strategies are and what makes it cool. It tells you when you're going to buy and when you're going to sell, and it's going to alert your phone. As you can see, guys, it gives you the entry. It gives you suggested target. Sometimes it's going to tell you, hey, you should go for target TP3 based off how strong the bias is. Sometimes it's going to tell you to go for TP1 based off how strong the bias is, but it gives you everything that you need. And as you can see, guys, it is extremely accurate. As you see, it's knocked out TP1 and it's about to knock out TP2 and TP3. And it does TP3 quite often, but let's just look at TP1, and then we're going to go into the training on how to actually use this thing. So on TP1, it won a trade, it won TP2, it won its trade on TP1 again, it lost its trade, so that's 2 wins, 1 loss, 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins, so 6 wins and 2 losses, 6 wins and 3 losses, 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go too far back. 16 wins, guys, and I'll be like 2 or 3 losses. And you could completely configure this based off if you want a higher risk to reward, everything that you need. But we're going to go over everything you need to know. And again, we got the timestamps below, going over everything from the bias filter, the breakout strategy, what is dominate, the show time frames. So if you're looking for something specific, you can skip ahead. But if you just want to learn everything, you can just continue watching the video and taking notes. And if you want to take advantage of this, guys, just make sure you join the WAP if you're not in it yet, and you're just watching this maybe from YouTube. The link will be below. Okay guys, so in this video, we're going to go over everything that you need to know when it comes to using market structure. Before you ask me any questions in support or chat, please take your time to watch this video to its entirety. Now, there are going to be a couple of tools that you will need when it comes to using the market structure. Number one is you're going to need a TradingView account. So if you don't have a TradingView account, you can go to TradingView.com, create a free account, and yes, you can use this indicator on the free account. And then once you create that free account, you're going to be able to add the indicator to your TradingView account. You're also going to want to make sure that you download the TradingView app so that you can actually get the alerts or watch the indicator from the app. The second thing that you're going to need is to download TradeLocker. TradeLocker is the platform where you're actually going to place the trades on that we went over when you signed up for Genesis. This is where you're going to place your buys and your sells, and TradingView is where we actually host the product. So these are the only 2 real apps that you need. We're going to go over how to now access the indicator and add it to your TradingView account. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to actually add the indicator. And I lied, guys. There is one other app that you're going to download, which is called WHOP, W-H-O-P. This is where you're going to get announcements, see results, talk in the chat room right from the app, and you're just going to log in via your email. So you're also going to download the WHOP app. That's where I talk about everything market structure wise. Now, to add the indicator, guys, what you're going to do is either from your phone, you're going to scroll down to market structure, or from your computer, you're going to click market structure. And it's going to ask you for your username. You're going to hit claim indicator or update, then hit claim indicator. and then it's going to end up on your Trading View account. So whenever you go to Products and Super Chart, and then you go to Indicators, you're going to go to Invite Only, and you're going to look up Market Structure. And it's going to pop up right here. Now, once you first add market structure, it will be blank. But we're going to go over how to use market structure so you can add those buys and sells or use it for whatever way you would like to use it. I want to say I also update the indicator quite often just to make it maybe more accessible or make it easier for people or add an extra feature. So anytime I say, hey guys, update your indicator, you may see something like a purple button somewhere around here. And then you're going to click that purple button to update the indicator. Now, let's get into how to actually use the indicator and configure it to how your likings. And then we'll go over how to actually place trades with it and how to be profitable with it. Now, the market structure, guys, when you double click it, you're going to click this button here. And you're going to see all of these different settings. There's a lot of different settings. Now, market structure has different functions that other people like to use. Some people might want to use it for supply and demand zones. Some people might want to use it for show sessions highs and session lows, break of structure, fair value gap, structure, trends, a bias where it can give you a bias on what direction the market is going on the 1 day, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour. It can also give you higher time frame candlesticks. It can also give you different strategies that you can take advantage of. Now, I'm going to talk about these last, but I want to focus on first the breakout strategy. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to click on breakout strategy and breakout dashboard for now, and then I want you to just hit OK. And then give it some time to load. Okay, so now I want to talk about just my entire setup before I go over how to place these trades. I like to have on my mobile device, again, the Trading View app and the TradeLocker app. The Trading View app is, again, where market structure is hosted. That's where you're going to get your trade ideas. And then once you get your trade ideas, you're going to place those trades into TradeLocker. Now, that's for the apps. Now, if I'm on my computer desktop, I like to have two tabs open. I like to have the Trading View desktop up, obviously with market structure, and I like to have the TradeLocker.com website, and I like to scroll down and open the TradeLocker web, and then log into my broker account with my demo and live account credentials via here as well. So when I'm placing trades via desktop, I can have both tabs next to each other, or if I'm placing it via the the phone, I have both apps next to each other. So I'm going to give an example on how to do them both, just in case, because I want to be as thorough as possible on this particular training. But I just want to let you know this is my setup when I'm doing everything. So let's kind of just go over how simple it is to use the market structure. So with the market structure, it gives you the three things that you need to know when it comes to trading. There's your entry, your exit, and it doesn't give you a risk, but you're going to need your risk as well. And we're going to go over what all three of those mean. So with your entry, guys, you got to know when are you going to get in for your trade for a buy or a sell. If you believe the market's going up and your bias is up, then you're going to buy. If your bias is down, you're going to sell. Then, and as you can see, if we look at the TradeLocker app, you can actually pick, what direction. So if I'm trying to say, I think it's going to go up, I'll buy the market. And if I think I'm going to go down, I'm going to sell the market. The second thing I'm going to need is my stop loss and take profit. And this is exactly what it sounds like. So when I press this buy or sell, I need to also figure out, okay, let's say that I believe the market's going down. That means I need to put stop loss, meaning that if the market goes against me, where do I want to take myself out at? And in my take profit, if the market goes in my favor, where I want to take me out for a buy. For a sell, to take me out. Now for the opposite, you could do a buy and you can place your stop loss and your take profit, and you believe that means your stop loss is going to be below this time and your take profit is going to be above. So that's how you figure out your stop loss and take profit. The last thing you're going to figure out is your risk. Your risk is how much you want to lose on a trade. So just in case it's your stop loss, you can hit risk on TradeLocker and you say, look, I want to risk 1%. And then it's going to risk 1% of your account. You just put it in right here. You can risk 1%. You can risk 2%. You can risk 3%. Or you can do the dollar amount and you can say, I want to do $100, $200, $300, and so forth. So you can choose the dollar amount that you want to do risk versus based off dollar amount or risk. So that's all that comes to trading. What's cool about market structure is it gives you your sell or buy. So right now, for example, if we had a trade come up just now, it would have gave us our direction, our entry, which is our entry. That's our sell. So we would have got in for a sell. Then it would have gave us stop loss and take profit. And then your stop loss, for example, you would copy those numbers, 4-1, 4-1, 2-8 would have been my stop loss. My take profit, mind you, this is an old trade, so it's not going to look right, but I'm just giving you an example of what you would do if you got that trade. And let's say you want to do TP1, 4065. And then you would pick your risk and just choose, okay, I want to risk 3% or 5%. So I like to risk like 5% per trade, 3% a trade, stuff like that. If you want to be on a less riskier side, you can risk 1% a trade or 2%. It just depends on how often you trade it. But whatever you want to risk is up to you. And then you would just hit the sell button, and then the trade will be placed. So it's very simple to use the indicator. So you can do this same setup from just going to your Trading View app as well, and you will see all that information on the dashboard. Or if you was on your computer, you can come from here and type in the numbers into your actual stop loss and take profit, your risk, and you can be in that trade as well. So now you know how to place the actual trade. Let's go over how to actually use the indicator. But I wanted to go over at the beginning just everything you need to know as far as how to place the trade, why you're placing the trade, what is the entry, stop loss, and take profit. Let's get into how this indicator works and how you can configure it towards your trading style. Okay, so now we're going to go over how to use the actual market structure indicator. Now, disclaimer, you do not need the paid version of TradingView. The free version allows you to have at least 2 alerts and host at least 1 indicator. Market structure being that indicator, so you don't need a bunch of indicators if you have market structure anyway. And number 2, you only need to set up 1 alert. And so what is an alert for those who don't know? When you have the TradingView app downloaded, let's say a sell or buy alerts you and you're ready to go check the charts, it's going to alert you via your phone. But in order to do that, you have to go to Add Alert. You're going to go to Market Structure. And there's 2 options that I suggest. You can either do any alert or breakout strategy alert. So what are the differences for this particular training? The breakout strategy is going to alert you anytime a buy or sell happens. So this is going to be good for those. If you're coming in, you're going to, let's say you get a buy or sell and you're going to hit take profit 1 only, or take profit 2 or take profit 3 only. You're only doing 1 take profit. And that's all you need. You don't need to be updated at all times. Any alert function call is going to alert you every time something happens. So let's say a buy or sell happens, it's going to alert you. Let's say it hits TP1, it's going to alert you. Let's say it hits TP2, it's going to alert you. Let's say it hits TP3, it's going to alert you. This is going to be great for those who like to manage their trades. Now, if you do any alert function, then you don't have to change anything here except for going to your notifications, choosing your sound, choosing how long you want it, and making sure that notify an app and show toast notifications and sound is on. Now, if you choose the breakout strategy alert, you're going to choose your trigger and make sure it's once per bar close. If you don't do that, it's not it's only going to alert you one time and then never again. So you want to do once per bar close. So every time a new alert happens, it alerts your phone. Okay, so now let's go over how to configure this particular indicator. We have different types of trade styles and bias filters. I'm going to go over the bias filter in a second. But the trade styles determines your risk to reward. Safe being, this is going to be your smallest risk to reward setups. That's why I call it safe. This is going to be great for beginners. And then we're going to go over balance, runner, and trend. So safe mode is what I recommend. If you don't know anything about trading, you're still figuring it out, I recommend safe. Now, safe has 3 different targets you can choose from. You have TP1. And so let's say that you came in, you got the alert, and you got your stop loss and take profit, and you chose take profit 1. Well, if we're going to use risking $100 just as an example in this video. You can risk anything you want. You can risk $10, $20. Let's say you're risking $100. That means that if it hits your TP1, you make $50. Now, the advantage of this, guys, is this does win about 85% of the time. So even if you're risking more than you're making, you're going to win more often. But some people would like to make more profit. So then we have TP2. Now you're risking $100 to make $100. Then we have TP3. You're risking $100 to make $150. So what some people do is new people just usually choose TP1 to be safe, extra safe. Some people like to choose TP3 only. And then what some people like to do, since we have that custom alert where it alerts you, is once the trade hits TP1, they like to move their stop loss to break even, close some of the trade, keep the rest open, and let it ride out to TP2 and TP3. For people who understand trading, you understand how you can manage your own trade. I'm not going to tell you how to do that, but that's how the safe one works. Now, the next one is the balance. The balance is a bit different. What it does is it has a further out TP, and so it's going to alert you again. So now if you choose this TP3, you're going to make more money on this one. And this is, you're risking $100 to make $200. You can use this TP1 and TP2 to manage your trade to help you move your stop loss to break even, or move your stop loss to TP1 once it gets to TP2. So this is going to be more for a little bit more advanced people who understand how they can move their stop loss and so forth. Then we have the runner. The runner is going to go for an even further target. This is going to go for 1 to 3. And with 1 to 3, you're risking $100 to make $300, and it tells you where to move your stop loss at the same time. And then the last one is kind of similar to runner, except it has different targets for TP1 and TP2, where it's going to have you go for certain targets right here. So that's the 4 different ones. Again, if you don't know anything I'm talking about, just choose safe and hit TP1 until you get, better at it. So now let's talk about bias. Some people are going to prefer turning on bias. Some people are not. So let me explain what the bias is. As you can see right now, it says turned off. If I turn this on, you're going to notice right now you see buys and sells on each side. Once you turn this on, it's going to disappear. So what is the bias doing? There's 2 different biases we have. We have the trade direction and the target TP. So the trade direction, just to kind of explain it, is very simple. It's looking at the overall trend on the daily, the 4-hour, and the 1-hour time frame. Right now, we trade on the 15-minute. The higher time frames, for those who don't understand, they have their own direction in the market. You might be, and each of these candlesticks represents that time frame. So the 15-minute, each of these represent 15-minute candles. But on the higher time frame, we have, like, for example, the 4-hour or 1-hour. And if you don't understand anything I'm talking about, we do have training on charts inside of the training. So it's inside the training. You can go watch charts if you don't understand what charts is. I'm not going to explain that here. But it does look at that. So this makes the indicator super, super accurate. And it's going to filter out any buys or sells that are going against the trend on the higher time frame. Some people are going to prefer this. Some people are going to want both directions. So let's say that you want both directions, but you want a little bit, you still want some type of biased direction. Then you can still keep the direction on, and instead we're going to change the target TP. So what is target TP? Target TP is, it's going to have both directions, But as you can see, if we look at this trade, and let's say that we got an alert, and it says, hey, this is a sell. It gives our information, but it gives us a sell bias. So it says here, your final target is TP3. Why is it telling you TP3? It's because it's saying, hey, this is a high probability trade. Will it hit TP3 every time? No. But this is going to be a good time. You say, you know what? I just want to be told when I should go for TP3 or when I should go for TP1. So in this example, it's saying, hey, go for TP3. We're on a sell bias. But let's look at this example. Where it called this buy. Now, it called this buy, but doing this buy, it has something called wait. And so if it says wait or sell, it's not, or actually, let me hit one more. When this says wait or sell, it's going to basically say it doesn't have a real bias. So it's going to tell you, hey, just in case it doesn't have a real bias, go for TP1. So when you're about to take your trade and you're entering in your trade, you're going to know for your TP, should you put in TP1 or TP3 based off this bias. So this is the one I like the most because I like to check both sides. I just like to know, okay, cool. If it says my bias is TP1, I'm going to choose TP1. If it doesn't have my bias up, I'm going to choose TP3. And I'm going to manage my trade. So that's how I like to use it personally. So that's how you use the breakout strategy, guys. I'm just going to show you now a little bit about the rest of these features. Then, you can take advantage of everything that we have to offer with market structure and play around with it. The first feature I want to talk about is the dominate feature. This is another strategy that you can take advantage of. It also has TP1, TP2, and TP3. And it goes for 1 to 1.5, where, for example, you're risking $100 to make 150. This is also a very great strategy. You can, if you want to set up alerts for that, it has its own standalone alerts where you just pick the dominate and it's going to call the buy and sells. Just make sure that you do the once per bar close. So that's how that is if you decide you want to do it. If not, you can always keep that filtered off. So we have another feature, guys, called the show forex sessions. This pretty much marks the highs and lows of the sessions. This is great for people who do like to trade liquidity sweeps on the session highs and session lows. And it does a lot more than just show you the session highs and lows. It will alert you anytime a session high or session low was swept. And you can choose, hey, I want to know when the New York session was swept, Asian or London, or all three. You can just add all three. So that's a very powerful feature for those who do love trading session sweeps. We also have something called fair value gaps and breaker structure. This tells you when every time a change of character happens or breaker structure or fair value gaps. Again, these are just different strategies or add-ons to your confirmations for people who do like to trade these strategies. Again, if you're brand new, you don't know anything about this, then you can just focus on the breakout strategy and safe mode. We also have support and resistance. And what's cool about support and resistance, guys, is it does let you know when there's a break in the retest. So if you want something to kind of help you with your support and resistance, we have that. And again, with this one, we also have alerts where you can type in, hey, whenever a support and resistance break or retest happen, once per bar close, shoot me an alert so I can know. And so that's something that you can also set up with this indicator. We also have structure built into this. So if you want to know where the higher highs and higher lows are, this will let you know every area for higher highs and higher lows. So for those who like to trade structure and just want that quick understanding where they are in the market, this could be a great tool for you. We also have a trend where it tells you where you are in the market. So whenever, a lot of people like to use this to be able to tell if they want to hold a trade. So maybe they don't want to use a TP or stop loss, or they just want to know where the trend is a little bit. They can use this tool so they can just keep holding the trade. Yellow means the market's consolidating temporarily. Green means it's going upward. As you can see, it went up for a little bit. Red means it's going down. So this is a great way to help you pretty much follow the trend. The bias dashboard is going to be really good because it tells you the bias of the daily, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour. So if you like to trade the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 1 minute, the 15 second, whatever, this is going to be your bias, and it's going to let you know, like, this is strong alignment, decent alignment. You should just wait. It's all over the place. So this is going to be really good for those who need that extra confirmation on higher time frames, and they want to see it at a very reasonable spot. You can, of course, change where you want to have it. And it also gives you, like, hey, is it below 200 EMA or above. It also gives you that bearish structure, or it's going to tell you if it hit the fair value gap last, or it popped or passed a supply and demand zone. It's going to do all that on your behalf. So it gives you a lot of information in just one little dashboard. The supply and demand zones or order blocks is what people like to use when they're trading, smart money concepts and so forth. And this is going to mark up your supply and your demand zones. So you're really going to like this. And again, these actually alert you whenever it has retest as well. Just like we usually show you, you're going to just hit add alert, market structure, and you're going to choose supply and demand, and you're going to change it to once per bar close. So for those who like to trade supply and demand zones, smart money concepts, ICT, this indicator is really good because it pretty much has everything you need, and you don't have to go purchase TradingView to add a bunch of different stuff. Okay, so the true day opens are very good areas of liquidity. A lot of people like to trade the true day opens. So if you're a true day open trader, I made it very simple for you to be able to use, and you can choose how many true day opens, the last couple ones you want to look at, the last 2, the last 3, or whatever. And so that's also integrated into this indicator. We also have show candlesticks, and you can choose how many candles you want to look at and what time frame, and the fair value gap as well. And you can use this to see what's going on real time on higher time frames, just like the bias dashboard, except you're looking at the actual candles. So I can see support and resistance here. I can see the fair value gaps on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. So if you want to look at higher time frame analysis, and of course you can partner up with the bias dashboard, and you can have everything you need on different time frames. I say all to say, guys, you can use all of that, but if you're brand new, this is the setup I recommend: the breakout strategy, breakout dashboard, bias filter with target TP, and just keeping it simple. Whatever it suggests, if it says TP1 only, do TP1. If it says TP3, you can do TP1 or TP3, just it kind of depends on you. And just keeping it nice and simple. So hopefully this video was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, you can always hit me up inside of the WAP, and you can ask any questions. Hit me up in support chat. You can use the chat room. Make sure you download that app called WAP, and take advantage of everything, guys. And anytime I have a live session, hop on. All I ask, guys, is you do is that you take advantage of it, and let me know if you have any questions about it or if you have any feedback.